Hey guys, welcome back. This is Donna Sharpe with Holistic Wellbeing. Thank you so much for joining me here on day 557 of doing these lives. As you can see, I am enjoying the great outdoors. I have such a great appreciation for nature and what it has to offer. I'm sitting in front of a wonderful papaya tree and a moringa tree, two of one of the most influential fruits that are out there right now. If you are not aware, that's really, really good for your health. So who am I? I am your holistic and wellness life coach. Part of what I do is I teach individuals how to foster and get in touch with their spiritual life, because ultimately I feel that this will allow everything, as I'm speaking on the topic of alignment today, to fall and flow in the right direction from head down, right? Because as you know, water doesn't flow upstream. So what I also teach individuals how to do is to get in touch with the nutritional side of themselves, as far as understanding what to eat, when to eat it, how to eat, all of those great things. And then also getting them in touch with the physical side of life. So many people are wanting to work out and exercise and get their bodies in shape, but in so many regards, I see that many are going about it incorrectly and may not have the correct guidance that they need. So that's what I do. I am here to coach individuals through that process over a series of months. So if you're interested, please let me know. Now, today, I am here to speak with you guys on the topic that I promised to welcome. Thank you for joining. The topic that I promised to speak on, which is alignment. And I truly believe that alignment, it just falls in place with so many different things in our lives, whether it's our health, our financial aspect, our family. Alignment works in so many regards. If you're not aware, I am a spa specialist, and part of what I do is I take care of clients on a regular basis for many years, teaching them how to make sure that they're having the proper stretching routine, getting regular massages, how to properly align themselves throughout their daily activities so that they can avoid particular concerns that they may have prior to them coming in to see me. Now, maintenance is always a great thing. But as you know, sometimes people don't do the very best job of taking care of that on their own. And for many years, being a fitness professional, over 25 years now, I've been able to teach individuals how to care for their body in such a way that it's a continuous and consistent thing, filled with discipline and obedience, because that's the only way to ultimately get the results. So many times I see individuals, they enter a gym, they start a workout process, and I just watch them, and then all of a sudden they fall right off the bandwagon. So it's very, very important, like many things in our life, to create an alignment that's going to be essential to being sure that you're gaining the results that you absolutely need to have and want to have, right? So I'm going to speak on the topic tonight. Last night I spoke on the topic of alignment and the hips. And I believe the night before I spoke on alignment and the jaw. So if you didn't get a chance to see that, I would encourage you to go back and watch the lives that I actually completed. This is day 557 of me doing these lives, so there's a whole lot of material out there for you to go back and review if this is your first time joining me. So first, let me speak on alignment and the hips. Our body is a very intricate thing, and when we don't take care of it properly, unfortunately, it goes by the wayside and other things tend to occur. So it's going to be up to us to care for it appropriately, so that we're understanding more about ourselves and how the body works, right? So in order to do that, we first have to learn and gather some knowledge about that. People always think that they understand what the body does. They understand the basics, that you have legs and arms and all of those things, and you're breathing. But do they really understand how the process takes place? So I'm going to encourage you, if you don't know it, try to find out. But I'm going to give you a little insight tonight. First, let me just say, on the topic of our head, we're talking about the head and neck and alignment tonight. So if you don't already know, the head sits on an axis. And one of the access point area on the head is so sensitive and so intricate. It's a very small point right below the occiput. The occiput is your head, right? All of this. Imagine all of this sitting on just a little pinhead, right? So for that to take place, there's a lot of different motions that need to take place, a lot of different care that needs to take place in order for that head to balance on the neck, right? And so because it's so complex and it requires it does so much in terms of communication with the brain. We want to make sure that we take care of that area. So let me just share a little bit with you. If you don't already know, that particular part of your neck is called the cervical region, right? The cervical region. The spine is broken up into three different sections: the cervical, the thoracic, which is the mid back, and then the lumbar, which is the low back. So the cervical portion, it sustains so many different things, and sometimes the least little incident can cause a person to generate chronic pain over a long period of time. And one of those examples is a car accident, for example. A simple thing as a whiplash, right, can cause a person's head and neck area to go into spasms, and next thing you know, they're continuously trying to care for how to maintain or should I say eliminate pain that's caused in that area, balance in alignment, and all of those great things, right? So with the cervical area, it consists of disc. And if those discs aren't aligned properly, it tends to go through what we call sometimes herniation. If there's any kind of slip disc at all, it will not only cause a lot of pain in the neck, but it will also permeate down the arms into the form of tingling or numbness in the hands. And if you are someone that has experienced any kind of neck concerns right now, you will understand exactly what I'm speaking on. And it's not a lot of fun. It's not a lot of fun, because what it does, it may inhibit other things in your life, such as sleep, for example, and also performing your daily functions on a regular basis, right? So the discs are pads that serves as cushion between the vertebrae. When those discs are worn, quite like the disc on a car, right? You ever know when it's time to get your disc replaced on your car? You have to, because maybe you're someone that step on your brakes really hard all the time. And so over time, what happens is you may wear on those discs, so you have to get those discs replaced. Well, we can't easily get the disc replaced in our neck, so we have to make sure that we're constantly caring for ourselves properly so that we don't encounter any problems. The way that we move our head and neck, it really affects our structural positioning of the head and how it's aligned. So many times I watch just people watching. I see people in line waiting at the store, and they may be cocking their head a certain way, leaning, chin is not tilted forward, whatever the case is. And what individuals don't understand, and over time, those simple things can actually wear on you. One of the greatest things that I find myself doing, especially with my children, is when they're sitting at the table when they're younger, and even now, they may be slouching at the table, and I'll just do a gentle tap on their back, and I don't even have to say a word. Typically, they understand exactly what I'm talking about, but I always encourage them to say that, when you get older, you may be hunching over now, but that hunch might remain, and you might not be able to straighten that back out. So let's try to get into good habits from now, right? And they just laugh, but they know that it's a serious thing. So inflammation is a huge thing. It takes set in the entire body, and the neck is one of those areas. And as you know or may not know, inflammation causes, it is basically caused from an over-acidic overflow in the body, and then the acidic overflow then causes pain. And you know what happens when you have pain, people cannot function like they should. So inflammation is something to really take into account. Now, the neck, as I mentioned, another name for it is the neck region here. The spine that's right up here, as I mentioned, is your cervical. So if you hear somebody reference it as your cervical, that's what they're referencing, right? And the neck directly connects the occiput. We call it the occiput. It's basically your head. The cranium, right? It connects the occiput to the spine, right? And it also is connected by a series of nerves, bones, joints, muscles. And the benefit of that is it helps to strengthen, it stabilizes the head and neck, and it causes nerve communication. So why not care for it properly? Because if you don't, then you're going to wonder why your communication zone area is not taking place like it should. But our nervous system is so intricate. Our body alone is just so intricate. And to understand that this is a highway of communication, part of it, we want to make sure that we're keeping that neck in the proper alignment at all times, right? So some of the things to keep in mind when the neck has a lot of stress and it is misaligned, I'm going to share some of the things that happens as a result of that. you will experience a lot of stress, emotional stress, on the neck, and it may be based on, hi Reggie, thanks for joining, hi Wanda, thanks for joining. You may experience a lot of emotional stress from something as simple as your neck, right? You may also experience the stress a lot of times come from the poor posture because of the way you're sitting, the way you're laying down, the way you're sleeping. You know, it just amazes me how so many things really, uh, it, one thing just leads to another, right? Because something as simple as not having a good pillow, not sleeping on a good bed, can definitely cause your head and neck not to be in alignment. And when it takes it out of alignment, everything that I just mentioned in the beginning of this live, as far as pain, agitation, chronic occurrences, will take place. And then you wake up the next morning, you wonder, why is my neck hurting? I've had so many clients that's called me to schedule an appointment and said, Donna, listen, I can't even turn my head. So what is going on? And by the time I get finished with them, they can turn their head and neck. But just something that simple can play a stressful factor on a person. Sometimes people travel a lot. Of course, now there shouldn't be much traveling at all. But when they go to different hotels, they're not accustomed to sleeping on their same pillow because they have a certain routine at home. And when they go elsewhere, then it's not the same environment that they're used to. Other things that can occur is just simple soreness, simple stiffness of the neck. The radiation, the way that you're turning your head, a lot of times should be considered and taken into consideration. I sometimes see, I never forget in my whole fitness world, I would see individuals do the full circle with their head whenever they're working out, and that drives me insane. If you are a fitness connoisseur, I'm going to encourage you that typically when you're doing any kind of workout routine, the normal thing for you to do is either tilt in front or to the side. It's never in that full rotation. Remember that occiput, this occiput, it sits on that teeny tiny pinhead. And when we're doing this full 360 rotation, we're affecting the nerves and we're affecting the disc. We're creating a different abrasion and wear and tear on the disc. So we want to make sure we're very, very careful with that very delicate area of our body, right? And as I mentioned, a lot of times when the pain happens in the neck, it will often permeate down the arms to the fingers. It may cause numbness and just quite frankly cause discomfort, things that you're not necessarily accustomed to. And then you're wondering why your world is turned upside down in a given day because you're just out of alignment. So I wanted to share these things with you on alignment and the head and neck, and just give you some of the factual things that I understand as a spa specialist and just being in the field of anatomy and physiology and fitness for so many years. I truly believe that a lot of times individuals take for granted the body that they have. God has given us an amazing temple, and outside of the things that we can do on a regular basis that we're very familiar with, our body is just running on autopilot at all times. There's so many involuntary muscles that are working that we don't have to tell it what to do. It just does it on its own. So how dare us abuse this beautiful temple that we have, right? I don't know about you, but I'm going to care for this as long as I possibly can. As long as I possibly can, right? So don't abuse your body. Take advantage of the things that you have, your surroundings. Take advantage of your massage therapist. Of course, I am one. I'm very partial to that, so I think I'm the best. Hey, what can I tell you, right? My specialty is therapeutic sports work. And but if you have a therapist that's near you, I would encourage you to make sure that you're going to see them. I don't have anything against chiropractic treatment. Maybe how often I may have some concerns with, but I do feel that it helps because sometimes when people are having something as simple as a headache, a chiropractic session can actually help to relieve the tension and the stress that's happening at the cervical region of the neck, right? So as I mentioned, I was going to continue speaking on a subject of alignment, and you know I'm outside in my element in front of my wonderful moringa tree and papaya tree. I would pick one for you, but there's no papaya on there yet. I have picked the moringa, and if you don't know what this is so medicinal, I don't know what to tell you, but you can pick it and eat it right off the tree, right? So I'm speaking on the subject of alignment because I think so many things are crucial in our lives as it pertains to alignment. And one of the major dysfunction that people are experiencing in this world right now is because they're not lined up accordingly with the source. And the source, as I mentioned, as far as my mission and my vision is getting in touch with Christ first, and all else, that wonderful body you've been wanting, that wonderful way of eating, the wonderful way of curtailing your language to make sure you're communicating properly to people, the wonderful way of eliminating any kind of selfishness that you have, being selfless and being there for others, they're going to ultimately fall in place when you have all of your correct information and sources gathered correctly. All right. So I will continue to speak on the subject of alignment. I wanted to share this with you today on the neck and head. As I mentioned, I spoke on the hips yesterday, and I spoke on the jawline the day prior to that, and I spoke on some other things. We've been on this now for about 5 days, so I'm going to continue speaking on the subject of alignment because I really believe that it really falls in line with so many things that we do in our lives today. I had a wonderful friend mention to me just today that there was a vehicle that they were driving, and the vehicle was just driving by itself. But you know what? Things have to be in alignment in order for that to happen. It's not going to happen by osmosis. If things were out of alignment, what would happen? Would that vehicle tug to the left? Would it tug to the right? Or would it continue straight on track? Something to ponder and think about. So listen, guys, if you love what you heard tonight, I'm going to ask you to share this live with someone else in your circle. I'm sure you have a family member or friend that right now is suffering from how quickly they're able to look up or look down, and as a result of neck misalignment. And then I would love for you to hit the heart button. I don't like the thumbs up. I feel it's very dry. It's just a short way of communicating with people. If you slip your finger on the thumbs up button that you see right there, slide your hand up and just slide it across, you will see the heart, and that's what I prefer. I'm just going to tell you straight out, right? Besides that, log on to my website. Is holisticwellbeing.com. And it's spelled with a W, WHOLELISTIC, wellbeing.com. There you can find out in the About section why I'm so passionate about what I do. Now, incidentally, I don't speak on this much, but I'm going to share this with you tonight. If you look in the Vitality store on my website, you can also scroll all the way down, and you'll see my doTERRA link. I am a distributor for a natural essential oils line, and if you were to order something from my link, one of the things I'm going to recommend to you as far as calming the nervous system of the brain would be lavender oil. So when you click on my site, search lavender and go ahead and order it, and just keep it on hand. There's so much in that small bottle that can really give you a lot of beneficial help as you sleep, as you rest, and how you eliminate some stressful moments in your life. So guys, listen, thank you for joining. As I mentioned, this is day 557 of me doing these lives. I will be back tomorrow. Sitting again in the great outdoors, because this is where I get grounded. This is where I get centered. And I just thank God for just being alive today. I see so many that are not fortunate, and I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful for all of your support, more than you know. But I will be back again tomorrow to speak some more on alignment. But until then, please be safe, make smart decisions, and find someone that you care about and just tell them that you love them. Reggie, thank you so much for joining. Wanda, thank you for joining. Mr. Brad, thank you also for joining. If any of you join later on in this live, please watch the live first. Do not just type replay and move on. And I believe that's Brodus. Thank you so much for joining. But watch the live first, type replay. And I like interaction, so please type some interaction just to let me know what your thoughts were on this live. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your evening. Take care. Ciao.